Hello, beautiful beings. So, Doozer and I are doing what I call caving. Yeah, I have most of the blinds closed in our tiny home, and we're on the couch. Yeah, you're such a good boy. Such a sweetheart. So, it's so creepy how whatever it is that I'm quitting, the serpent mind comes in louder than ever. And it was just saying, what was it just saying? It was saying, well, look at this. Now that you've quit combusting it, it seems like your tolerance has went way down. And now, when you haven't been using it during the day, and that's something that, I mean, you've always wanted that. You've always wanted to not use it during the day and just, have a couple gummies after work, 3 gummies after work, and feel it so much. You weren't feeling it like that before. I think you really got this down. And in the evening, then you're only having 2 gummies a while before bed instead of 3, and you're not even smoking. Yeah, it's it's the voice that makes it sound so like such a good idea. Yeah. Well, I really have achieved that balance I always wanted with it. No, it's a lie. And so I saw myself like going with these thoughts, and then all of a sudden they said, "Don't listen." Just those 2 words came in so clearly amidst all of that. What is the word that we're looking for? Just like rationalization, but what is it when somebody's trying to convince us of something and make it sound really, really good? Not too good to be true, but it's yeah, instead of the serpent mind, maybe we'll call it the salesman. That one salesman at the car lot that just, ugh, it's just brutal. Following you around and trying to sell it. Oh, it's just brutal. So obvious, isn't it? Anyway, so it's really important to, and really incredible, because before when I've quit marijuana, I haven't been able to see all these things. And I was laying here um, conversing, I'll just say it. I resisted, and they're like, just say it. And it's like they removed this, yeah, Moonstar and I were talking about this a couple days ago, about this filter that the ancients have put in place, the divine God, whatever's breathing me and beating my heart. These words that I label on it, on what we are, is just a pointer, just to keep pointing towards what I'm talking about. That's what all words are, all sentences, all communication. So I was just talking to who I fondly refer to as, I was saying Makundaji, and he just corrected me and said Mukundaji. That is Paramahansa Yogananda. And it's so amazing because having the desire for marijuana, just it's removed, and it's gradually leaving my life over the next few weeks. Feels like I'm done. I've never experienced it like this. It's so exciting. And we were just, what were we just talking about specifically? How from now on, no matter what happens, I have to stay centered and calm and aware. Aware. It's imperative that I don't lose consciousness. I did today. I lost consciousness. It took me all day long. I still feel it. It's still hurting me. Yeah, just this morning, and I won't do it again, but I went online, and I don't usually, get online. I listen to music, or one of my 2 favorite intuitive tarot readers or astrology reader. and, something peaceful. But this morning, for some reason, one of those shorts came up and caught my attention, and this rooster was chasing a little girl, and she was absolutely terrified. And I had that happen to me when I was a kid. And I remember it like it was yesterday. It was so terrifying. When you're little, that rooster is so big, and you know that it wants to hurt you really bad, and they do. Their beaks are just razor sharp. That point on them, and their talons are so sharp, and they're wicked. They're just absolutely wicked. I mean, they rip the feathers. Okay, so I gotta stop. But it hurt. It physically hurt my heart so much today. And I had to work all day long on not dwelling on it, not thinking about it. I couldn't believe it. I even went to the comment section. Of course I did, because I was unconscious at that point. And I saw the first comment was, I just think this is, so hilarious, the person said. And over 300 people had liked that comment. It hurt my heart so much. I gotta stop thinking about it, because I don't understand how anybody could ever think that that's funny. To watch a child be absolutely terrified, and have them be hurt by roosters also. It's not that just that they're chased, we get hurt by them too when we're little. They're almost as big as we are sometimes. So that was so incredible though, because I was dwelling on that instead of wanting to use marijuana at all. It crossed my mind twice today, the thought of using marijuana, but it wasn't a wanting to. It was just like, oh wow, I haven't been thinking about using marijuana at all today. Even feeling really frustrated. Yeah. For me, that's true sobriety, because a sign of true, like, I'm done with this. This is done, out of my life. I'm leaving it in the 222 portal. It says at Mama G 222 for a reason. So this is being left, and the signs that it's really like for good. Well, because they're saying it's gone. It can be gone for good now, because I'm shining my full light of awareness on it. No longer, I can't I can't go back, because I see fully now that it is an addiction for me. Yeah. But see, okay, so there's no but. It is an addiction. I have been in an addiction this whole time. They're saying it did help me. I love paradoxes. It did help me, but I always ended up using it addictively. And I'm under no illusion that I would ever be able to try to use it again and not use it addictively. No, that ship has sailed for me. Any addiction is completely leaving my life. Oh, that's just so exciting. So they were talking to me yesterday they were showing me how this whole time I've been talking about how I feel like I have a cannabinoid deficiency in my brain. And yesterday they were telling me that's true. So I'm going to the doctor. He's such a great doctor, on the 4th. Well, wait, is that tomorrow? Really soon. What is it today? Yeah, the energies are so. I don't usually remember. I know it sounds weird, doesn't it? What day of the week it is. So I look at my calendar a lot, and I have a doctor's appointment, and this is something I've never done. I've never went to my doctor and asked for help when I was quitting. Before I actually quit marijuana, I would always drag myself into the doctor, after I had quit, because it was just such a shock to my system. The amount of weight that I had lost, and I was withdrawing from sugar also, and I didn't actually put that together at those times either. But so I would go to the doctor because I was so scared, because I was dropping so much weight from quitting. And anyway, so I started detoxing from sugar about 5 days ago now, and I've went through that withdrawal, and so that's over. I'm still getting some cold chills, but that's fine. That's almost over too. But besides that, I've been sleeping great. My dreams are already getting more vivid and they're not nightmares. See, that's one reason that one, not excuse, but one reason I have used marijuana for so long is because it basically knocks me out at night. I was just having nightmares for so long, and no matter how much work I've done in the waking state, because, of course, like Papa G says, they all say that this is a dream state also, the waking state. Yeah, okay, so when I was using marijuana, like a lot of marijuana, I would just basically pass out and I would be in just such a deep sleep that I wasn't nightmaring. I couldn't barely remember my dreams. This time, since I started using marijuana again, and I've been using gummies, I have been able to remember my dreams quite well, but absolutely nothing like when I'm not using anything. So it's really cool because cutting back this last probably 5 days now, my dreams are getting more vivid, and I was just like, oh, thank goodness they're not nightmares. What I have been dreaming about is kissing a man. Yeah. Wow. I've had 3 dreams that just in the last 5 days of a man, where I'm walking towards him and he's walking towards me. He's taller than I am. And we're walking towards each other, and then all of a sudden, we get to each other, and he's doing that, putting his fingers through the back of my hair, but facing me, and then we're kissing. And then last night I had a dream about Dan, the one I went through the the twin flame lesson with. It was really good. Oh my gosh. I hope you're having some good dreams, Ocean. I really do. There's just nothing like a dream like that. It was just so loving. He had a big puffy, like a down jacket on, and he opened it up, and he was 6'5", and yeah, his waist, like his belt, came to right here on me. Yeah, so I saw him and I looked up at him and we smiled at each other, and he opened up his coat and I just like disappeared in his coat with my arms around him. I did that once in real life. Real life. They're reminding me, they keep reeling me back into like, the biggest of pictures, because I'm just like, my moods are just so volatile. My emotions are pretty volatile, obviously, still. But we're right, we're right in the full moon, so lunar eclipse that is going on right now. So it's all right. It's all release. I'm going through a rebirth, and I feel like it's just feels more graceful than it ever has. They're saying, yeah, I barely need any painkillers. Yep. And what I've been hearing astrologically is just lining up so perfectly for what's going on in my life. Well, obviously it's here to help me do that. The catalyst for the change, this energy is, and specifically on the 21st, the day before, I release marijuana in this 222 portal for good. That's when the energies are most potent, of course. The day before my birth to Earth Day. I was staying at my mom's house a long time ago. Well, okay, there he is again. Hello, Dan. Yeah, that's releasing resistance for me in a big way, is letting him be here because oh, okay, they're saying that's one sign that I'm getting, that quitting marijuana is going to be such a huge benefit for me, because Jonathan said a long time ago, that like probably 8 months ago now, that the only reason I'm still using marijuana is because of fear, and it has just haunted me. Elaine Thorpe channels Jonathan, and I was talking to him for my very first time, and he said, you need to take care of your health, my dear. It was the very first thing out of his mouth. And I said, I know. I just quit using marijuana, combusting marijuana. I'd quit completely, and I was really like super skinny and just so sick. And he said, and that's when he said it. That was the first things out of his mouth were, you need to take care of your health, my dear. And that's right. I had a puddle of water underneath my bed also, because a little hose had broken. I was trying to use my bathtub, so I was using the faucet, and I didn't realize it was leaking underneath my bed. And so I had way too much moisture in here going on. Plus I was combusting marijuana, and I had given myself really bad. I almost had pneumonia at that point. And the fact that Jonathan said that, I mean, I knew. He said it's just because of fear, my dear. The only reason you using it is because of fear, my dear. And I said, and I knew, I absolutely knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that he was right. But I thought it was because of the fear of, being able to hear my twin soul. I'll just call him that. I keep saying the twin flame concept, whatever. Um, he feels like my twin soul right now. I mean, he's coming in so clearly. But they're showing that that's one benefit of quitting marijuana, is because it's showing me how much fear I have released. And oh, okay, of course, they're saying that holding on to it would be to hold on to the concept, the idea that I can't handle energies. I would be holding on to fear if I held on to it any longer. I would be creating more fear in my life, and by letting go of it, I'm releasing it. So it's all very exciting, and I want him to be here with me. I do. He's nothing but a loving presence. He does not take from me. I was terrified for quite a long time now. Well, it's been a while now since I heard about him dropping his physical form, and that's when I started smoking or using marijuana again, is shortly after that, because he was coming in so clearly that I still felt traumatized by our connection when he did have a physical form, because it was so clear. The connection was so, he was with me 24/7. Yeah, that's right. They're saying that the difference is, though, that it was like, I told you he was 6'5". It was like trying to save a drowning man, a 6'5" drowning man. It just, this constant, yeah, resistance, just so much resistance. But now, after all this time, it's been about, how long now? About maybe a year? Nope. It was summer before last I found out. And just now, like right now, in this very moment, I'm feeling like he's a welcome presence, especially after that dream last night. It was incredible. He's reminding me of another dream I had. I'm pointing on this side because in my dream, I was washing dishes, but the everything else was dark. It just where I was, it was like the sinks, the countertops were just out in the middle of nowhere. I couldn't see anything else. And then all of a sudden, Dan came up beside me, and he said, and he put his hands on the countertop, and he kind of just like, I don't know, I can't really explain it. But he was looking down at me, and he said, "Hi, wife." And I said, "Hi." And I kept washing dishes, and that was it. And then somebody was calling him from down a hallway, and I knew it was this guy that used to bug the shit out of him at an apartment complex that he used to manage. And he was going to set a boundary with that guy. And I said, "Go get him, babe." And that was it. What a beautiful dream. Yeah, it's been a really long time since I had a feel-good dream about Dan. Yeah, I was definitely due. So, but they're saying that that's no accident. These are all signs. Okay, thank you. That's all signs that I'm definitely going in the right direction. So I was I was going past where I would normally turn off to go clean the lake house, because I'm in transition. I'm getting to see my new life and watching my old life. It was just so magical today. Driving up to the other vacation rental that I was cleaning this morning, much, much smaller. Took me like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So I'm driving past where I would normally turn down to the lake house. And I said, I'm going to take the higher road, because it's much higher. It keeps climbing up the mountain. And on the radio, right as I was saying it, she was singing about taking the high road. I've never heard that song before, and she was saying it over and over. I had full body chills, absolutely magical. So I can't wait to keep telling you about the amazing things that are happening. Right. Okay. So they were telling me that my brain does need the CBD. So one reason I'm going to talk to my doctor is to see if he knows of a really good CBD oil. I want full spectrum because because that's a cannabinoid also, THC is. And the 0.03% in the full spectrum CBD, that's not psychoactive. So I believe, and psychologically, it will help me also to know that I have some THC in my system. I know it may sound crazy, but I know that'll keep my mind even more quiet around quitting. But yeah, my friends are all showing up. Mukundaji, Paramahansa Yogananda, is, well, I believe, okay, so he's the one that said, don't listen. Because then I was just like, you guys have never said that before. And I couldn't tell where it came from. I can still see the words as they came in. They were like black background and white, bold letters. Don't listen. And I was just like, I wanted to say, who said that? But then I did. I was just like, okay, so that seemed different than just you guys coming in, just just a infinite amount of ancients coming in. But I'm used to how that feels. And yeah, then Paramahansa Yogananda came in. And a long time ago, probably 4 years ago now, I was sitting and I was holding a pipe in my left hand and I was journaling. I had been listening to something on YouTube about from Paramahansa Yogananda, and he was talking about the four different castes of society in humanity. The fourth caste is Brahmin. It's a life of non-attachment. That equals non-addiction also. So I had my pipe in my left hand and I looked at number 4. I was reading it. I was had my what I was watching paused and I was writing it down and I said, this is the one I want. And all of a sudden I looked up, like, and Paramahansa Yogananda was bent down, so he was eye level with me because my mattress was on the floor. I was sitting up against the wall and I was writing with my right hand and I had my pipe and the lighter in my left hand. And he, all of a sudden, like I sucked in my breath and he's crouched, like, I don't know, bent over and he's smiling, just beaming at me. And he says, you don't need this anymore. You're ready for number 4. And he took his top hand and his bottom hand and covered my left hand and took the pipe and lighter out as he was saying that. And I was just like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then, he disappeared with the same smile on his face. And the next day, my oldest daughter and I went up onto this mountain, way up on this mountain, and got together at a get together. Yeah, my son-in-law also. I think my grandson was there too. It was a long time ago. But I told them, we were standing in their driveway on the side of a mountain, and I was telling them about what happened the night before with Mukundaji. And they both started crying. Like, we were all just standing there crying. And I've went back to it so many times since then. And I've never forgot it. Because that's real. That really happened to me. Like, same thing as Papa G coming to me and giving me my name. I'm so happy right now. It's all real. It's all happened to me for a reason. And I have felt like I have let Paramahansa Yogananda down because I knew that happened. I knew that he was helping remove it from me. And, one beautiful thing, that's right. Okay, they're saying he's an ancient also. Of course he is. But like I was talking to Jonathan the last time. I said once in a while, one will separate themselves because we are talking about my like who's my main spirit guide, Jonathan, who's like my guardian angel that has always been here with me. And he said there isn't just one. And I said, I firmly agree with you. It's he calls them the druids, Jonathan does. He said that they are mainly druids. Like I'm not going to try to explain it. He said, but I have a strong connection to the druids in my past lives, which makes perfect sense to me. It just really resonated. And I told him, I said, yeah, once in a while one will break off from the crowd and come in independently, and that's Paramahansa Yogananda for some reason. And yeah, he's here. He's always here, but he's just one more sign that of the gifts that are here for me, and that I'm not going to have any problems letting this go because the divine is removing it. And so we were talking about that marijuana is on the planet for humanity's highest good for sure, because like pain has gotten so acute that it has been hard for people to remember how to feel good, how to feel really good and happy and sleep really well and all that. And yes, a lot of people become off balance with it, and there's so much learning in that also. Marijuana will balance out at some point, and I've actually seen, but ultimately it's here for humanity's highest good. I have seen toilet paper, like, made from hemp. I've seen it with my own eyes, but in this vision I had just a little while ago, it was a regular thing. And it wasn't an astronomical price, and hemp is going to take the place of like cutting down trees more. Yeah. It's it's so sturdy. Did you know that? Yeah, ropes, everything, clothes. Yeah, people could make just about anything out of hemp. It grows so much faster than trees do. Yeah. So, okay, is that it for now, ancients? Whee! It's like videotaping my birth. Sometimes I'm not going to say that. Sometimes I go to say something and then all of a sudden I hear how maybe a man will hear it, what I'm saying, just innocently saying. Isn't that pretty? I found that at a yard sale. There's my main guys, Papa G, Muji, and Eckhart Tolle. If you don't know, is that side? What is it? Feels so crooked. There we go. Oh, there's the top of my head. It's so pretty here, isn't it? In my tiny home. It's been such a beautiful cocoon. I'll be leaving that too. I mean, I'm not going to be living here anymore. I feel that. But I'm definitely keeping my tiny home. Definitely. I've been talking to her lately, just the last few days. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm keeping you, and I see you out in a field or something, somewhere really peaceful, and I'm going to come in and paint and do different things, and, you know, just she's alive to me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't need to explain it, they're saying, but I've spent a lot of time in my tiny home and really felt safe here, and nobody can take it from me. Like it's my home. So, I think that's it for now. We love you so much. Look, I have old lady neck. I've been noticing that lately. I have an old lady neck. They're saying it's just more character. Okay. We love you so much.